What's up, guys? This is Rise and welcome to a very special video. This one I'm excited about. I put some extra effort, a lot of extra time into making this video, clipping all the different clips and graphics. So if you want to smash that like button, I'd very much appreciate it. But I recently went 10-0 run in Go Battle League using completely random teams. I was going auto-rect, which is basically you don't have a battle party set, and then you let whatever the Niantic gods, the overlords, whatever they want to give you for GBL, that's what you go with. And I didn't do it like straight up necessarily. Like if, for example, like let's see, what did I do? Just so you guys get a feel for the first one. So it gave me Drapion, Jumpluff, and Rhydon. So instead of Rhydon, I used Regirock instead, since it's a little bit better than Rhydon. And I changed up the order. So yeah, and this video is kind of, it's for your entertainment. It's an epic win streak that's very difficult to do when you're using just completely random teams. But also to show you that you don't necessarily need the secret team to win games in the Go Battle League. You can make lots of different teams work, and that's kind of proof as what's going to be shown here. And oh my gosh, guys, by the way, these are some epic battles. So some of these wins, I just, like, you're not going to believe. Shadow Gardevoir in the lead. We know Gardevoir likes to shield absolutely everything. So we went for the Aerial Ace bait and got the shield. Already able to grab both shields. My opponent makes a really nice catch here on the crunch. Whimsicott is going to be able to take this resisted crunch. I do get the debuff, which is nice, and that one poison sting did so much. And at this point, I know if I can just take this thing out and farm up a little bit, so that way I can get to a move against the Gardevoir, there's almost nothing that's going to be able to beat Regirock down 2 shields. So let me know in the comments. I can't think off the top of my head while I'm shoutcasting this, but is there anything that can beat a Regirock down 2 shields? I'm not sure. We swap, it's Wiggly, and that's no problemo. We're going to be able to get to 2 Stone Edges easy. And we're looking good in this first game. Also, by the way, this is going to be a real test for Rise, if he can remember to switch the graphics over the course of this video for the team graphic. Normally, I've got the movesets and the IVs for you as we focus blast the Wigglytuff. Normally, I've got the movesets and the IVs for you, and the Pokemon names all nicely laid out in the graphic. Original graphic designed by Boy Ghost, by the way. Shout out to him. And because there's 10 different ones, instead of going through and finding all the IVs and remembering what movesets I had, I decided to just go with the Pokemon in general. And we're on to team number 2. So here we go. Get rid of team 1. Here comes team 2. It's another Jumpluff team with Hitmonchan and Haunter. Very glassy with 2 of these Pokemon. Jumpluff at least has some bulk to it. And here we go. On to the next battle against Taylor. Not FP Sticks, a different Taylor. Golbat lead, okay. This is where we want to see the Golbat, but they swap right away. In comes Zweilous. This is not very comfortable. I'm debating whether I want to... I kind of have to shield because if my opponent takes swap, I just flat out lose. I'm counting, and I know he's not going to quite be able to reach that next body slam, so I'm able to counter all the way down. Part of me wants to get a shield from Golbat. Part of me wants to just let him take these punches because we want to get this thing low. Our Jumpluff does not want to see Golbat whatsoever. Very scary for Jumpluff. A couple of wing attacks sneaking through. That's all right. We're only going to get to one of these, or another one of these anyway. Golbat has some energy. I only counted 7 wing attacks here. I only counted 7, and they still went for Shadow Ball. I was like, oh man, I hope I didn't miscount. I remember at that time, I'm like, he only did 7, right? But I shielded anyway, and fortunately, we correctly shielded. In comes Greedent, and we overfarmed a little bit. Tried to catch, we're unsuccessful, but Jumpluff's going to be able to take several body slams here. This game is looking kind of rough. I mean, shields are down. This Greedent had a huge head start on energy. The Golbat has been chipped, but it also has some energy. Went for an energy ball here. And I'm cognizant that my opponent might try and catch on their Golbat, try and catch an energy ball. But to be honest, that's okay with me because I got to take the Golbat out eventually anyway. So I go for an energy ball here. I know it's not in energy ball range. And I'm hoping this gives me enough to come out with a sludge. No, the green has a move. Is it a crunch already? It is a crunch. Can we get to the energy ball? We can. And in an epic sequence of events, we're going to be able to pull out game number 2. This was only game 2 of a 10-game winning streak, and these are already insane. Oh my goodness gracious. Will you make it through the video? All right. It gave me a Porygon Z, so I'm going to swap it out for a Porygon 2, and then we're just going to roll with the next 2 Pokemon. So we get rid of Team 2. Here's Team 3. Dragonair, Porygon 2, Frostlass. Not a bad team, a little bit glassy. All 3 of these Pokemon are like not insanely glassy, but I wouldn't consider any of them bulky either. And we see a Noctowl. Okay, pretty neutral matchup. Our opponent starts behind a little bit, which is good for us. Unfortunate for them. Another example, it's not always me starting behind, as some people thought I was saying in the video I made. I do experience it quite frequently. Dragon Pulse going straight for it. Boom. Land on the Whis. And at this point, I'm just going to sack my Dragonair. I don't want to get switch locked somewhere I don't want to be. And I'm going to go for a really aggressive Powder Snow down here. A little bit of desync there, so that time we were behind. And I know I'm going to have to take another Mud Bomb, but I'm willing to shield it and farm all the way down because I know I can probably get a shield back with Frost. Farm all the way down. I've got all this energy. And look, it's a dang Macargo. It is a dang Macargo. Oh my goodness. Takes the Shadow Ball. Our opponent lagged for 1 turn there. So we're actually going to be able to transfer this Incinerate damage over to Porygon, which is kind of nice. I kind of have to shield this. They go for the Overheat, which is good. They didn't debuff us with Rock Tomb. I'm going straight for a Zap Cannon. I don't expect them to shield it. And we land the Zap Cannon on knock. This is still going to be close, though. Overfarming as much as I can. Going for a Tri-Attack here. My opponent almost has no choice but to shield. I get the debuff. And I get to another Tri-Attack. And that's just how spammy this Porygon is. And that can be the advantage when you're running random teams like this. Although it can be difficult to make them work. Oftentimes your opponent's not going to know the counts. Not going to know the counts of these Pokemon. So Porygon way spammier than our opponent probably realized. And we're able to get 2 Tri-Attacks off there. Opponent also could have thought that the Frostlass had more energy than it did or something. And they were trying to overfarm to be able to get to a move against that as well. So we say goodbye to Team 3. Hello, Team 4. And this is where the Twitch chat wanted me to use... Oh, shoot, I skipped ahead too far. Wanted me to use the candle. Chandelure. Let's light it up, ladies and gents. Chandelure, Pidgeot, Mew. Alright, so Melmetal, this is fine. And I am rocking Flame Charge on my Mew, so I am a fan of this matchup. So I know I can take a Rock Slide pretty easily. And Flame Charge will do a ton if it lands. Will my opponent shield? They do shield, which is okay with me as well because I know I should be able to live this next Rock Slide and get off another move. And if I can save shields for Chandelure, I'm in a good spot. I go for the Wild Charge actually because it'll hit harder since they caught on Hypno. And now I come in with Pidgey. This is a little sketchy. I do sneak in a Gust though, and that Gust I snuck in is actually pretty huge because this will allow me to Gust down before the Hypno reaches another Thunder Punch. Actually, I would have been able to do that anyway, but I take 1 less confusion, which is kind of nice. I'm expecting Mel to come in. I'm going straight for the Brave Bird. I'm hoping this KOs. It does KO. Oh, almost. But that actually gives me one more. In comes Lapras. And I'm like, oh no. A water gun user. It's a water gun Lapras for my Chandelure. But we're able to debuff it. We're able to debuff it. And we sneak in and incinerate. Let's go, the candle. This is for a 5-0 as well. I think I missed one battle at the start because of the recording. So it's going to be 9 battles in this video. But Chandelure the Candle is overpowered and gets off a second Flame Charge, which will take out the Lapras. There we go. 3-ball victory with the Chandelure in the back. Unbelievable. And I was so hyped up after that game. And honestly, there's one game yet to come that I think is still the best game of this entire video that you guys do not want to miss. So make sure you watch the whole thing. We're going on to Team 5. Team 5. Wigglytuff, A Graveler, and Poliwrath. Let's see how this one performs. Makes sense, right? You've got your Pokemon that's weak to ground. You've got some ground coverage with Poly. You've got some fighting coverage with Wiggly. We lead against the Lickitung, so we do have to be worried about Power Whip here. Power Whip would hurt quite a bit. Grass super effective against Rock, of course. But this is a pretty neutral matchup for the most part. I'm going to be able to outpace as well. We do correctly shield Power Whip, which is nice. I think I could have overfarmed by 1 there. But I throw the Rock Blast right away just to kind of force some pressure here. They take it, they switch into a Registeel. And I'm like, okay, here comes Mr. Poly. If they get to a move, I'm not going to shield because I know Poly's pretty bulky. It can tank a Focus Blast. I'm going to overfarm here. Unfortunately, Dynamic Punch probably won't be quite enough to KO, so I'm going to have to throw my second one as well. I'm just going to throw it right away since I only slightly outpace Registeel. Dynamic Punch takes it out. What's going to come in now? What do they have for Wiggly? A Frostlass. This is going to be a close game. This is going to be close because Wiggly not going to appreciate an Avalanche. I get a shield. I sneak in a Volt Switch. And because I snuck in that Volt Switch, I'm going to shield this. Because I know I have this Rock Blast right here. And I'm either going to get the last shield or do a ton of damage. I get the last shield. And my opponent, once again, a bit of a misplay. They just weren't quite sure how much energy I had. And I had a little residual energy where I was able to only need 2 Volt Switches for the Rock Blast. Takes it out. If my opponent had caught there, I think they win the game. But obviously, I mean, it's very tough to keep track of energy on some of these spammy Pokemon. And perhaps they weren't used to seeing Alolan Graveler much either. Or they didn't know how much energy Rock Blast was as well. Like, lots of things to factor in. Almost forgot about the graphic. We're on to the new one. What team are we using? Oh my god. I told chat at this point. I almost guarantee. Look, I tried to back out. This team is so bad. No disrespect to Shiny Furrett. But did you catch that? I tried to back out. I don't want to skip too far behind. I'm scrolling back slowly. Look, I tried to back out because I wanted to change the team. But Niantic's like, no. Rise, you've won enough games with this disrespectful method. We're making you lose. It's a Porygon too. I'm going to stay in because I assume it's probably running Zap Cannon as its hard-hitting move, which means it's only going to be able to try attack me. And you see 2 discharges would pretty much KO. In comes Dragonite. I sneak in a Thundershock. I almost said I snuck in a discharge. Snuck in a Thundershock. Go for the discharge here. I think I can get to 2 of them. I get a shield. I do get to 1 here. And these Dragon Tails chunk so much, I'm just going to let this take out my Stunfisk rather than transfer it. And it does quite a bit of damage there to D-Knight. I'm going to come here with Furrett. I sneak in a quick attack. Oh my god. Take the claw. Furrett. Quick attack down, the dragon. Look how menacing little Furrett is. I don't know what's in back, and I'm thinking he probably has fighter coverage. So I do shield the tri-attack. I don't get debuffed, which is nice. Going for a brick break here. In comes an Ariados. An Ariados. I know this is just a cross poison, so I'm hoping I can tank it. I can, just barely. I store the brick break for later. I store the brick break, and I'm thinking there's just no way. These counters are double resisted. Rock Blast won't KO, especially after getting debuffed. I'm just thinking there's absolutely no way. And I make a mistake here. I allow him to get to the move first, but it's actually a cross poison, so it doesn't debuff me again. So it actually didn't matter that much. Get to a Rock Blast. I get the last shield. Another Rock Blast right away. I need this to nearly take it out, put it into counter down range. Doesn't quite do it. This move here might be enough to KO. Cross poison. It is. I got a brick break right away. I've got like 2 HP. The Porygon is so low. And we quick attack down and we take the win. But you know what? I was considering that the best game of them all. I just absolutely freaked out in the moment. But I think our opponent forgot about their Porygon. Either that or they lagged. I'm pretty sure they forgot they still had a Porygon. And they were probably upset that the brick break took them out. That they just like put their phone down or they stopped tapping. Because the lock-ons definitely should have taken out my Furrett before the before the quick attacks. I was so low. That was like 1 lock-on. But, you know, sometimes that happens. Sometimes we throw games. Sometimes we forget Pokemon are alive. I'm using this next team with Mantine, with Berserker, and Bronzong. LeBronzong. In comes a Noctowl. I wasn't sure if I should have gone Berserker here, but I think Bronzong's probably the better play because, honestly, a Shadow Ball would do a ton to Berserker. I bet a Shadow Ball does as much, or if not more, to Berserker than it does to Bronzong, just because Bronzong's a lot bulkier here. So I know I can comfortably tank a Shadow Ball from this range, because the wing attacks aren't going to be very threatening to me. And I will be able to Confusion down here, and be able to threaten whatever comes in with a move. I'm kind of just going to blind tap my Psyshock. And, yeah, bit of a mistake there. Always look at the top right corner. I was really worried that the Machamp would like get in a counter if I took too long to press the button and I wouldn't get any move off. So a bit of a mistake there from me, just being a little impatient. I kind of have to shield this. It's a Focus Blast. I'm down 2 shields. This looks like all hope is lost because the Machamp can probably Rock Slide the Mantine. But our opponent decides to shield, and this really surprised me. And I think this is a bit of a mistake from our opponent, to be honest. I think he should have just saved shields for Machamp, and Machamp probably is able to sweep. But I'm able to farm up a little bit there. Now it looks like we still have a chance, because we've gotten the shields. This Rock Slide won't quite one-shot me. And I'm actually going to Bubble Beam here. And the reason I'm going to Bubble Beam is I need to be able to come out with a... That was actually something to go over. Oh my god, spoiler alert. But look. Okay, we're going to let it play anyway. I Bubble Beam. My opponent stopped tapping to give me less farm on Berserker. Very smart, but it actually gave me the perfect farm without taking too much damage. And we get the close combat off. Will it KO? It does. It KOs the Reggie. And we get an insane victory right there. Once again, a bit of a misplay from our opponent. So I know I'll get some comments like, Raj, you didn't actually go 10-0. You got lucky. Yes, there was definitely a lot of luck involved. For sure. But it was a 10-0 run. We're on to the next team. Hypno, Melmetal, and Primeape. Pretty strong team, to be honest, considering it was randomized. I think this might have been a team that was just straight up the 3 that it gave me. And yeah, Hypno, obviously a fairly meta pick. People like to use Hypno. It's very versatile with its moveset. Primeape, very powerful, especially when you can get a boost with it. You can just sweep teams. And Melmetal, of course, very spammy. It's good in pretty much every league. Great league, a little bit too squishy for my liking, but still has a lot of play, that's for sure. We lead the Melmetal into Jirachi. Not bad, not great. 2, 3, 4 confusions. And they actually throw Doom Desire right away. Which is nice for me, because I don't have to worry about getting a charge move thrown at me after I debuff myself. So actually throw this. And at this point, I'm considering, like, do I just stay in and sack my Mel, or do I switch? I switch into Hypno here. They're going to throw a move. I'm willing to let it go. It's my Shadow Hypno, actually. So sorry the graphic doesn't reflect that. And unfortunately, they get to another move here. I throw in CMP, which is not ideal by any means, but I am going to shield, because if they haven't swapped into something, it means they probably don't have a hard response to Hypno. They do have a hard response. What do I know? What do I know? We get off this punch with a few HP. I was trying to build up as much as I could just to maybe threaten like a Focus Blast. Not like I have Focus Blast or anything. And now we've got some work to do. I'm 1 Thunder Shock away, so I'm going to throw this. If this is CMP, this could be my win con. And look at this. A CMP tie. He undercharges. We switch. We're going to go for a counter down. But no, the Zwei had a ton of energy. I have to shield, man. I mean, if I don't shield, then fast moves will probably end up taking me out. I get the counter down. They catch a counter on Jirachi, which is good for us. Gives us a little extra farm. In comes Champ. And I just got to get to 2 moves here. And I'm going to eye after the Ice Punch if I think Night Slash is enough. And I do think Night Slash is enough from that range. Definitely after the counter. So I'm able to just go for a Night Slash here. I need 1 counter to take out this Zwei. It does. And we take the win. G to the G. Oh my gosh. And that brings us to the final battle of the video. Trying to give me these whack teams. I didn't shorten this part up just so you can give me, so I can give you an example of, this is one of the times where I did like multiple tries to try and get a decent team. It gave me Claydol, Poly, and Lantern. And I'm like, this is too weak to like ground or like ground steel, like a Steelix, for example. So I go Poly, Wrath instead of Lantern. And yeah, double Poly team with Claydol. And we're going to see how it does. There we go. Skipping ahead to the battle. Sammy is the opponent. Rise going for 10 in a row and a beautiful lead against Champ. In comes Drapion. I wasn't sure which one was the better one to swap into in this situation. I decided to go into Wrath. And they crunch bait me. How savage of them to crunch bait me. I'm going for Scald, I think because, I mean, both are hard hitting and Scald has that debuff chance. I'm going to let this one go through. Even if it's a Sludge, I should take it. It's just a crunch. So this Drapion, if they had Sludge, I think they would go for it. Just crunch. I'm expecting the Machamp to come back. I go for a Scald here. I was going for Scald because I felt like they almost had to shield. Even though I think Dynamic Punch does so much damage. But look, they don't shield. Which really caught me off guard. And I'm going to let it go at this point. Poliwrath did his job. And I'm actually going to come in with Toad because I know he's probably going to insta-swap. So I come in with Toad. Ends up being a great decision. Not allowing the Sandslash to get a head start on an energy. All shields are still up. So I figure I'm gonna bait here because worst case scenario, if he calls my bait, then I just go straight Weather Ball and outpace this thing. He baits me again. What a savage baiter. Baiting Poly with an Ice Punch. I mean, that's like kind of risky. But I know he knows he's in a tough spot. Another move coming through. This will probably be the Bulldoze. It is, but Bulldoze is a pretty terrible move. Probably tanks it. And no messing around. Just go for the EQ right away. The Toad taking out the Slash. Quick swap into Claydol. One Confusion takes out Shadow Machamp. And we take the victory. G to the G. A 10-0 winning streak. Running completely randomized teams. However you want to define that. If you technically not completely randomized, but like in a way they're random, right? It's not like I put much thought into them. It was like, all right, it gave me these three. I'm going to just swap this for that. And we're good to go. So yeah, I thought this was a pretty impressive streak. Probably one of my like most impressive Go Battle League streaks, to be honest, even though it's kind of a fun thing that we were doing on stream. Like I've been able to like if I toot my own horn a little bit, I've been able to win a lot of different formats in Pokemon Go PvP with like 7-0s and Sylph tournaments, Continental Championships, the 30-0 streak I had in the Go Team Up format, Gym Breakers World Cup. But a 10-0 using like random auto-wrecked basically teams and Go Battle is pretty tough to do. So I challenge you guys, see if you can win 10 games in a row, or even just 5 in a row, or even just win 2 in a row, or one game. One game I know you guys can do auto-wrecked. So go try if you're just looking to have some fun. There's so much time left to go in the season. I think it's important that we enjoy the Go Battle League season, take our time with it, not try and rush to the finish line. So yeah, all that said, if you guys could smash that like button on this video, I'd very much appreciate it. All that said, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.